What's going on, boxing fans? It's your boy, Cool Kind of Boxing, coming at you with another boxing video for the boxing heads and the boxing mind. It looks like Terence Crawford and Josh Taylor will be squaring off. Now, we don't know what's for certain, but let Bob Arum tell it. Terence Crawford will be fighting Josh Taylor next spring. Now, Terence Crawford is supposed to be WBO champion at 147. But apparently, the rules don't apply to Terence Crawford. And what I mean by that is, he's supposed to be fighting people for the top welterweights at 147, right? But because he's with Top Rank, he can't seem to get the fights. And this is what is disappointing many boxing fans, traditional boxing fans. I'm not talking about the boxing fans who's in love with the fighter, Terence Crawford, because he has great skills. We're talking about the spirit of being the best at each division. Was Terence Crawford undisputed at 140? Yes. Did he beat everybody he had to face at 140? Yes. Did he beat everybody he had to beat at 135? Yes. Did he move up? Is he a three division champion? Yes. Okay. Get all that out the way. And let's lock that in a room. Okay? Because when you go up to another weight class, that's the division that you need to conquer. That's the division you need to see if you're the best in. You don't have the luxury of going back and claiming the rest until you conquer the division that you're in. Okay? That's how that works. That's how that works. And the reason I bring that up, because as soon as you start comparing Terence Crawford to the weight class that he's in and why he's not competing with the other welterweights, everybody start bringing up what he did at other weight classes. That he don't need to conquer this weight class because he's already a 3-division champion and undisputed at 140. Okay, how many times are we going to repeat that? Okay, why isn't he fighting Sean Porter? Why isn't he fighting Danny Garcia? Why isn't he fighting any of the top welterweights at welterweight? Even Errol Spence Jr. says he's going to come straight for Terence Crawford after he beats Pacquiao. So, what's going on? Rarely in boxing history do you see a talent like Terence Crawford go down a division to fight the undisputed champion at the last division. That's a rare thing. Now, the only reason it leaves a bad taste in your mouth is because he hasn't fought any of the top guys in the division that he's in. So, what is going on? Okay, so we know he's with Top Rank, and we know Top Rank don't have any of the 147 fighters. So, why did Bud resign in 2018 when he knew his company didn't have any welterweights? Well, he did it anyway. He re-signed with Bob Arum. And now, from what it seems, from everything, looking at how Terence Crawford is moving, it looks like he's going to re-sign to fight Josh Taylor. Now, see, we don't know nothing for certain. I'm not saying this is written in stone. He might go ahead and go off on his own. But what's the big deal with signing with PBC? It ain't a black white thing. It's about where the competition is, and that's the problem. We don't think that Terence Crawford wants to fight those other guys. And I know it's a sin to say that, but Terence Crawford himself has been sounding like he don't want to smoke with the other welterweight ex-champions. He don't want to fight Keith Thurman. He said no to Sean Porter. He don't want to fight Danny Garcia. You notice all the negotiations fell through with those guys. So is it acceptable for boxing fans to place Terence Crawford on such a pedestal when we don't even really know what he can do at 147? Is that fair? Everybody else has to go out and kick ass. Everybody else have to go out and prove that they can beat whoever is in their division. Everybody except for Terence Crawford, because he was so dominant in his other weight divisions. Surely he's got to be dominant in the 147 division without showing it. And his fans don't seem to understand this concept. You can't go by your past laurels. You can't live on your laurels in boxing. You're only good as your last fight, right? And if your last fight consisted of somebody who wasn't that good, then you got to come up with another fight with better opposition, who should have been Sean Porter. And this would have told us where Terence Crawford is. Instead of making an excuse, if he would have beat Sean Porter, people would have still said that Terence Crawford is no good, or he isn't better than Spence. It's not about that. It's about seeing where Terence Crawford stands in the 147 division. If he beat Sean Porter, then everybody knows he is legit. He hasn't had that fight at 147 yet. I know everybody want to put Jeff Horn as the litmus test, but Sean Porter is the litmus test. You should know that as a hardcore boxing fan. Instead of being an emotional fan, you just need to be objective, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be objective. Terence Crawford has to prove himself at 147. You've been there too long. So now, if he's about to re-sign with Top Rank and fight Josh Taylor, that means he will be re-signing with Top Rank and be under Bob Arum control. So when Errol Spence come around, if he wins the WBA strap from the Manny Pacquiao fight, it's going to be a whole bunch of bullshit in negotiations. It's going to be hard because Bob is greedy and he's going to want all the money. But the good thing about it is Al Heyman, he's willing to get it done somehow, some way. He'll get that fight done. I don't know what the plan is. Is he going to be able to keep the WBO if he fights Josh Taylor? Right? He becomes undisputed at 140. He's going to destroy Josh Taylor, don't get me wrong. I believe he will destroy Josh Taylor. I don't think Josh Taylor stands a chance to beat Bud. But ask yourself a question. Bud's been out the ring for a year or so now. He may not be in the condition to beat Josh Taylor. Right? Josh Taylor active. And he's a big dude for that weight class, 140. He's a big dude. And he will scrap. And we know Bud has been down by Green Machine, Gamboa. What if Josh win that fight? Because Josh is looking to move up to 140. He want to fight the Errol Spence, the Danny Garcias. He want all the smoke, and this makes him more of a desirable fighter in the hardcore eyes because he want all the smoke, right? He want to fight everybody. This is the difference between Josh Taylor and Terence Crawford. Now, do I think Josh Taylor would beat Terence Crawford? Hell no. No. I think Terence Crawford's skills is just too much. You know, too much power, too much speed. You know what I'm saying? Too much diversity in his offense. Great footwork. You know, I don't think he can mess with Bud. He can't fuck with Bud in a million years. But what if Josh do beat him? Then what? You know, Bob is already plotting to get that WBO off Crawford before he leaves Top Rank. If that's the plan. So what is Crawford gonna? He's gonna fight Jose Zepeda for the rest of his career. Zepeda, whatever his name is, Jose Zepeda. Is he gonna fight them kind of guys for the rest of his career and just call out and clout chase Spence and say he's better than Spence and never fight the man? Is that what we do? And he maintains a hopeful fan base that Bud is the best. They put him up there in the stratosphere. He's the best, but he don't have to prove nothing. That's not how it works. Like Stephen A. said, that's not how it works. So I'm disappointed in Terence Crawford because I would think that mean, badass attitude, he would be pushing for these fights. He would be out front, calling them out, you know. And I know his fans want to say, "Oh, you've been calling out people." No, bro. When you call out people, it ain't a temporary thing. It's not a passive aggressive thing. You know, we talking about going to press conferences. We talking about interrupting interviews. We talking about letting it be known that you want to fight and you stay on it. That's calling somebody out. You know what I'm saying? And we could see from the body language, from the demeanor, from the fights that's failed. You know, when there's a fighter that's no name and a bum, that fight goes through with no problem. You know what I'm saying? These fighters jump on those guys like it ain't nothing, like the Green Machines and Faded Dudes. You know, these fights get made. But when it comes to outside of the Top Rank, the fights can't be made. So that should tell you something. That should tell you something. Terence Crawford is comfortable where he is, people. He don't want no smoke, no PPC fighters. And I'm not saying that he's scared. I'm just saying he just don't want to go through it. He don't want to go through the gauntlet. He don't want to be competitive. He just want to make a few millions and chill. So I'm kind of done with Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't the type of fighter I like to see. You know what I'm saying? I love his skills. Will I watch him fight? Of course. But he's just not my cup of tea because he don't have that. He don't want to be the best, even though you think he is the best. So, Terence Crawford, Josh Taylor, 2022, man, fighting once a year, and ain't that a bitch? Anyway, those are my thoughts. This has been Pool Counter Boxing, coming at you with another video. And smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back with you in another one. Remember what I say? Law don't go around here, law dog. It's savage.